I saw a chapter ki trigonometry, ki Euclidean analytical geometry, ki eng hape kan. Di chapter tse seredieng tse le lona paper 2. Ke hopola tsona ntho tse tsa body midpoint tsin body midpoint man. Ke ke tsona tse tsa body midpoint. Again, analytical geometry, trigonometry. I'm going to get a question paper ya June. Yeah, last year. It might give me an idea of what is happening here. June 2022. Because usually, now I get even now it's a hana. I get say. Le feel has a film one information only na hakiti right. That is question 1. So this is a revision paper maths paper 2. Why as a film one information? I honestly do not have any idea. And I cannot go and see another one exam. I don't want to exam making one. I cannot this information. I feel that I'm ultimately doing Marahabu and Hana phone. Hana phone, so what's one to say? Education alone very light. Like Lagata Lady Musije. Mutadutika certificate is Namaba, Kadutika so. Kala hood. Anna Gilaka Wistana. I don't go Naki Dulakilimo to ensure, but Wafumana all the necessary tools. I'm saying to her, Limona Kitwalimu, at least if he ain't a pet to Pilumba Wanamut. So, what you are rata, won't out and caliting us a rat, what you are no force. Right, Barrow, study the diagram below and answer the questions that follows without using a calculator. And the first thing about read, Barry determine the value of sin theta. Babata the value of sin theta. Now we have a terminal ray. The terminal ray runs in a counterclockwise direction, producing an angle called theta and land in the third quadrant. We have a point in the third quadrant, which is P with the coordinates -4 and -3. And with that, they say that we should find the value of sin theta. And I know that sine opposite over the hypotenuse. Now the problem is I have adjacent, which is x, and I have my opposite, which is y. There is no way I can find the value of sin theta without having to find the value of the hypotenuse. Now what I need to do is to find the value of the hypotenuse. Now you can't close this triangle like this because you don't have an angle there. So the correct way of closing this direction is to go in that direction so that you can have your angle that is produced in that way. Now, because this triangle makes one angle that is equals to 90 degrees, I can use the theorem of Pythagoras to find the length of the hypotenuse, the length of the terminal ray as it moves in a counterclockwise direction. So the first thing that I will do is to use the theorem of Pythagoras. X squared plus y squared equals r squared, theorem of Pythagoras. My x is -4, that is a squared. My y is -3, and this is r squared. -4 squared is 16. -9 squared it's 3 squared it's 9. This is your r squared. 25 equals r squared plus or minus 5 equals r. But I know that the hypotenuse is always positive. Therefore, I will conclude that r equals 5. Very, very important that we understand that. Now I can begin to solve for sin theta. So my sine of theta will be opposite over the hypotenuse, which will be your opposite -3 over the length of the terminal ray, which is 3 over 5. That will be the value of sine theta. And they were giving you 3 mark for just doing that. 3 mark is provided for just doing that. Okay, that is fine. We can go to 1.2. They say that we should find 5. The cosine of 90 minus theta plus 3 cot theta. Right. Now I know, okay, 90 minus is the first quadrant. All the trigonometric ratios are positive, but the name changes from sine to, sorry, the name changes from cos to sine. So you will have 5 sine of theta, because this is the first quadrant. They are all positive. The name changes if you say 90 plus or minus from cos to sine. You have your 3 cot theta. Right, you will say 5 times sine theta. Already we calculated that as negative 3 over 5 plus 3 times. Now cot is 1 over tan. 1 over tan. So tan, the tan of theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. Now, what is my opposite? That will be negative 3. My adjacent would be negative 4. Numerator, denominator goes once. You have your negative 3 plus 3 times. I'm changing division to multiplication. I'll take the reciprocal of this. It becomes 4 over 3. 3 into 3 goes once, because you are numerator and denominator. You are left with negative 3 plus 4, which is 1. This into this goes once. You will have negative 3 plus 4. Negative 3 plus 4, the answer is 1. And 3 mark is provided for this question 1. Alright, that's fine. Let's go to question 2. So this was just basically question 1. A simple problem with simple questions are being asked. All you have to know is that when you are given x and y and the length of the terminal ray runs in a counterclockwise direction, producing a positive angle, before you can even find the sine, you must find first the hypotenuse. You construct a triangle that gives you one angle that is equals to 90, and then from there you work out the length of the terminal ray, which we call the radius, and then the radius will always be positive, and then you find that which is required. You must know that when they say 90 minus or plus, the name changes from sine to cos or cos to sine for 90 and 270. And then from there, you must understand your algebra that cot is 1 over 10. Very, very important that you know that cot is 1 over 10. But 10 is opposite over adjacent. And then you can just insert this on a calculator. You can just insert the whole thing on a calculator. It will provide you with the correct solution. And then that is just a wrap up of what is being asked in question 1. Let's go to question 2. Let's go to question 2. Let us try to go to question 2. Now, in question 2, determine the acute angle beta to 2 decimal places. In 2.1, they say the sine of beta minus 17.8 degree equals 0,215. They say determine 2 mark is being provided for this. Determine the acute angle beta. And we know, wake up. We know that an acute angle is an angle that is less than 90. It's an angle that you will always find in the first quadrant. That's what we call an acute angle. Now, in order to find that angle, it must be an angle that is less than 90 when we calculate that. The first thing I will do, I will get rid of sine by dividing both sides by the sine. This into this will go once. You are left with beta minus 17.8. Why am I removing the bracket? It's because there's no longer multiplication that has to take place between sine and whatever that is inside of the brackets. Hence, I'm writing this no more with the brackets because the leading coefficient that has to multiply there is gone. And then you remember there's a 1 here. Right. If I want to write this as a base, remember the exponent becomes negative. So you'll have sine arc, we call this arc sine of 0.125. Nkinyeze mtwena calculate umplele nayo kabukani. What value do you find? 7, we say shift again what is the sign? It is that negative 1. Alright? 7.180. 180. Deflate.
755.
755. Deflate. In fact,
781.
781. 46.
Deflate.
Right. Le beta minus 17.8. We take this value to this side. Your beta is 7,180,755, 781,146 plus 17.8. Mpatele value aus. Or answer plus 17.8.
Wow, 122.
Icon, on a posse we in I'll find the same answer. That angle must be less than 90. Remember, it's an acute angle. If you call arc sine arc sine of 0.125. Your value is 7,18. Again, that is very true. You find that value, and then when you are done, you go and say 17.8 plus an answer. You find 24.98, we can say 1 degree. That should be the size of the angle beta, and it's an acute angle because it is less than 90. That's one possibility of that. Right. From there, what is it that we are having? We go to the second one. Now in 2.2, they say to us, determine the acute angle beta to 2 decimal. Alright, as is 2 decimal. 2 decimal. Tan 3 beta. As is?
Equals. Make it equal to
A equals
square root of 3.
Square root of 3. Right from here, we can divide by 10. Divide by 10. This into this goes once. You have your 3 beta that is equal hona le 1 mo. And then we want to write this as a base. The exponent becomes negative. Eba arc10 of root 3. And then we can divide by 3 so that we can find the p. P arc10 of root 3 divided by 3. Are calculating rebo. Arc10 of root 3 divided by 3. And we find an answer of 20. P becomes 20 degrees. Is this an acute angle? Yes, it's an angle that is less than 90 degrees. And then we go to the final one in 2.3. Ha ke tsebela ba ka ga botsa bona di tshwana tsa go.
Ke shebe question paper ka show
ina le answer ke re app eo ha eba o view ile app. Ona le mo tobetsang view answer. Nna le mo tobetsang view answer mo. And then ka o bolella dikarabo.
Ke tsone.
I give re ka dile question 1 I get. Unfortunately se ke di phomutsi nna mo. Mara ke sa question 1 eo. Ne re fumane sin x sa ine le negative, sin ke opposite again. Ine le negative 3 over 5. Ine le hypotenuse ya rona. 1.2 a tshaka ba tlo bua maka a ksa hopola. Ine le 1. Re fumane. Right, raya question 2 again. Ba re rona re fumane the sine of beta minus 17 here. Ra fumana value ya 24.98. Tsebela ba ka hantle. Ba fumane bokae 2.1.
2.1 ka 1.1.
1.1 se re fitile ke re buile ka 1.1 le 1.2.
2.1 ke 30.22 degrees.
30
30.
efeng one is
2.1.
bon re divide le mona ka sine. Ranka arc sine of 0.25. Calculator ya re fa 7.18. Ranka this value ga itlisa ka mo. Ha ona re ka fa 30, it's highly impossible.
Maka ga mo le re tjwa.
Ere 30. Ngwane is. Kola ka batho ga tsebe dipalo. By just looking at this, unless calculator is feeling too wrong, mara I don't think so. Let me reset this calculator to check. 3 equal AC.
2.1 again.
A arc sine of 0.125. Icon on is 7.18. Kyo number 7.18 0755 781. You guys 7.18 0755 781. Here Rangan 81 180755 781. Ntwena ra eda ka 17 tshwana e tla ka mane e ba positive 17.8 ra re 7.180755 781 ra plus 17.8 ya ga fa value ya 24.98 kyo 24.98 minus. That's exactly the value. Now to check, I will verify. I will share. I give a baba value I want to give guy just to 30.22. Kya bona e? I will prove I want na again need so that we are never confused. I didn't get the original problem. sine of beta minus 17,8 equals 0,125. Okay? How can you get that angle here? Substitute the angle here and see whether it will 0,125. Simple. The sine, what is the angle? 30.22 minus 17.8. That value is 0,125. Calculating so that we are never and ever confused. 30.22 minus 17.8. And we find a value of 0,215. Is this the same as this? No, one is. This is wrong. I'm going to get value of 24,98. The sine of 24,98 minus 17.8. I will share. Ke batla re clear re fela confusion mona hore re se ke ra iphumana re tauwe nna le wena. Ke batla re nke 24,98. Ere fa 0,1249. Round off this number to the nearest 3, 0,125. So these people are wrong. They are highly and highly wrong. Be clear so that you are not confused. The memorandum is wrong. So stress free. Release yourself. Late. Verify even if that is correct or not. But we understand we are here for that, to correct that which is wrong. Right, we know that our mathematics is correct. Now, because 2.2. 2.2 never money P equals 20 degrees. Right. You compare 2.3. Sometimes mutually designer a paste because I verify. Right, 2.3. We're gonna let 3 the sine of beta divided by 2, that is equals to 2,012. Again, we must find the value of beta, and beta must be an acute angle. Jesus, my father. Now the first thing is to get rid of that 3 by dividing both sides by 3. This goes once. You are left with sine beta over 2. 2,012 divided by 3. Two, 0.012 divided by 3. 2,012. 2,012 divided by 3, my dear. Divided by 3. That's whole. 0,670. It's enough. I'm found a fair. 666. 67. Jesus. Again. Now, I must divide by sine. Remember, angle. Please be careful. Angle. This is your angle. Please be very careful. Sine. This into this goes once. You are left with beta divided by 2. Eba arc sine of 0,670,667. And then in that 2, we multiply both sides by 2. 2 into 2 goes once. Your for beta. When also calculating. My father. When also calculating.
84.
84. We can tell you na 84. Njwe? Comma.
23.
23. Ba itse 22. Come on, Zomang, high 7. Ba itse round off to 2 decimal places. Eba form. Ayet? Degrees. Is this an acute angle? Yes, it's less than 90. Oko shebe na ba ifumane akusabathepa. Akusabathepa ho hang. Akusabathepa. Yabona ke bokae?
74.
Amen. Now, yabona ke bokae?
74.
74,84 degree. Ha go lo iprova ha gana le 3 sine of beta over 2 equals 2,012. I get originally problem e tsholo jwa. Ke kopa re kenya 74,84 ya bona. 3 sine beta ya ka ke 74,84 ke divide ka 2. Kamle mfe 2,012. Kopolo shebana ntwe e ka o fan 2. Kopa le nna ke etse le nna self 3 sine of 74,84. I'm dividing that by 2. Emfa answer ya 1, this na emfa 1,822. I get to do when I emfa 1,823. I get round off. Ke ka utlwa ya ha. Lwen. Ke go pa re kenya ya rona ya 74, ke pa re kenya ya rona ya 84,24. Kenya fela 84 ya rona. Ya rona ke 84,84. I get 84,24. Jesus. Ya rona e refa 2,012. Is this not the same as that? It is. So again mo di ba shapile di pa. Goed tsa ba betsa ngwana ka mo. Again. Ba bitsitswe ke dipalo. Goed tsa ba betsa dipalo. Jone le be careful ka dinamo ga nna mo tsena tsa lona. E ba shapile, so this answer is wrong. Da ba pheta gape dipalo. Goed seng hanyana. Right, how na ta? Be careful fela ka memorandum. That's a sign of being careful. Ka the memorandum. Jesus. Re hantle mme. Di ba bitsitse dipalo. Goed. Ba etsa dintho fela. Ba sa shebe lo share. Right, that was question 2. We can migrate and move to question 3. Right. More question 3. Determine the value of theta if theta is an element between 0 and 90. This is very important. Theta should be an element between 0 and 90. That's the value of theta. As we calculate, we must find theta as an element between 0 and 90. It must be bigger than 0 and less than 90. Problem is, we calculate without using a calculator. We feed the 10 of 30 cosec of 60 divided by the cos of 45, the sine of 45. I know that 30, 60, 45, 0, and 90 three special angles. I know that. So you can just go to a calculator and say tan 30. And what is the tan of 30?
Zero.
The tan of 30.
Zero.
Icon, give it as a fraction. How to measure SD? As a fraction. What to measure SD? When SD calculating?
Square root of 3.
Square root of 3.
Over 3.
Over 3. Now, you have to cosec 1 over sine. 1 over sine of 60. Divide. What is the cos of 45?
Cos of 45.
45, yes.
2. Square root of 2.
Square root of 2. Divide
2.
2. What is the sine of 45?
Square root of 2.
Root 2 over 2. Okay? Now, how do you move? Okay, root 3 over 3 times 1 over. What is the sine of 60? The sine of 60.
Square root of 3.
Root 3
over 2.
Over 2. Okay? This on the numerator, divide by this. Root 2 times root 2, it's 2. 2 times 2, it's 4. So we do Tagamu. Now, I can take the reciprocal of this because another 1 over this. So how do you change division to multiplication? Root 3 over 3 times. You take the reciprocal of this about 2 over root 3 more. The reciprocal because another 1. And then you can divide this by 2 1/4. Now, numerator, denominator goes once. You have 2 divided by 3. We change our division to multiplication. You take the reciprocal of this. This into this goes once. You have 4 divided by 3 as your final answer. But ba etsa dintho fela ba tatile fela ba na le ho tata 4/3 4 and
answer in one is just square root of 6.
Square root of 6. Iya calculating, I think the original problem on a 10 of 30 on a cosec of 60, you divide that by a cos of 45, you multiply that by the sine of 45. I know that calculator has a cosec, but I know cosec is 1 over sine. So, already 10 of 30 multiplied by 1 over sine of 60. You divide this by cos 45 times sine 45. Can you calculate? Scale was already baked and next. Papa fana ukinyen trainer calculating. Le nna ke kopa go ikenya. Ngwane ka jole go sokola. The 10 of 30 times 1 over the sine of 60. I'm dividing all this by the cos of 45. I'm multiplying that by the sine of 45. And I get a value of 4/3. Ay, Jesus. Ah, my Father and my God. Ah, Jesus. My Father. So, kimang arong. Either none calculator is wrong, kapa either the memorandum is wrong. Either na le calculator a design knowing kidi professors are software engineering coupled with mathematics. Either they're wrong or either the memorandum is wrong. You choose which one. The choice is yours. So this question paper imatata mangat. You must be very, very careful of that question paper. Right. Ha ke tsebile ba di trigonometry graphs di tlo hlaya. Ha ke